Greetings! So in today's video, I'll be taking a look at this palette. Let's open it up. Alright, so this palette is the Szmal Aquarius Urban Sketching palette of 12 half pans. It came in this lovely box. This is the colors included. You slide it open like this. The palette was in this plastic bag, in this insert. It came with this swatch card that I've already filled, as you can see. I've used this set a few times before making this review, but I also painted some fresh swatches and also did a brand new demo drawing and painting for this review specifically. This is what the set looks like. Of course, it's not brand new, it's been used a bit, so you can see that on the pans themselves, but these are pretty standard half pans, and this is what I painted with them. So as you can see, the colors included are pretty well balanced. We have a Queen of Talon yellow that acts as a neutral yellow. We get a warm red with the Pyrrole Scarlet, a cool red with the Quinacridone Magenta, a warm blue with the Ultramarine Intense, and a cool blue with the Blue Sky. We get a nice kind of neutral Payne's Gray type of color with Shadow Gray. Now, Shadow Gray is a color that's unique to the Szmal range. Then we get two greens, two beautiful greens. A Sap Green Light and Aquarius Green, again a color that's only found in the Szmal Aquarius range. Then we get Buff Titanium, Gold Ochre, Italian Burnt Sienna, and Cypress Burnt Umber Deep. So a very good selection of earth colors, going from a lighter color to a darker color. Very versatile. You guys know that versatility is always something that I look for in a palette. And this one, for me, is what I would consider a very versatile palette. With only 12 colors included, you get all you need to mix just about any color you want. So these are the two drawings I did. For this one, I wanted to try doing a lot of light layers one on top of the other, especially in the background area, because I didn't want to go into details, but I still wanted to suggest detail even if there isn't any, if that makes sense. So that's why I layered a lot of the colors back there. The colors behaved really well, they all mixed together perfectly. I really had no issue using this set. I was really able to layer color on top of color on top of color, and nothing weird happened. For this other little sketch, I didn't use layer as much, but I tried to go for flatter color application, some subtle gradients, and I think it worked really well for this too. I used a lot of a mix of either the Italian Burnt Sienna or the Cypress Burnt Umber Deep with the Shadow Gray and some Ultramarine Blue to get a neutral kind of gray color. For the greens, I used a lot of Sap Green and Blue Sky mixed together, and also some of the Aquarius Green and the yellow, depending on the level I was working on. I tried to make what's closer to us in a more vibrant, more yellow color, and what goes further back in a less vibrant, more blue color. Really, I think this is a great set. You got access to such beautiful colors with these 12, and you can really mix beautiful things. You can get an interesting orange with the yellow and either of the reds. Actually, it's going to be a bit more muted if you mix it with the Queen Magenta, like a slightly more peachy color than bright orange, which you will get if you mix the Pyrrole Scarlet and the yellow. And then for the purples, if you mix the Queen Magenta and the Ultramarine, you'll get a very rich deep violet. And if you mix it with the cyan color, you're gonna get a more soft color, slightly less deep right away, if that makes sense. I felt like all the extra colors, if I can say that, because between you and me, with these 5 colors, you got all your bases covered. This is just about a split primary without a warm yellow. So you get a neutral yellow, but then you get the same colors as you would have in a split primary. And as such, these have a really, really high coefficient of mixability. Then you get some really interesting stuff. I'll have the swatches from Szmal just here so we can have both. But the Shadow Gray is a really fun mix. You can have it pretty flat if you use it just very controlled, but with the PB29 and the PBR7 in the mix, you can also get some granulation if you let it do its thing. Usually by having a very wet application that you don't touch once it's down. Then these greens are really interesting too. The Sap Green is a mix of 2 colors that are quite smooth and even. The Aquarius Green has PB29 in it, so there's a bit of a granulating effect here. that can be obtained. The buff titanium is a color I'm very happy to see in this set because it's a beautiful kind of beige color that's really handy. As this is an urban sketching set, I can see why this color is included. It's a color you find often on buildings in an urban landscape. Then the gold ochre is a very lovely version of this pigment. It's nice and rich and glowing. It's not weak, it's not dull. There are so many variants of the PY42, PY43 pigment that you really can get any kind of properties on your gold ochre, but this one is a really good one. The Italian burnt sienna is also quite nice, and then the Cyprus burnt umber deep is a really nice deep brown color. Both of these, burnt sienna and the burnt umber, have a bit of granulation to them as well, so that really gives you space to work with granulating colors, smooth color, opaque colors, super transparent colors. You can basically tackle any kind of effect you want to make with this set. Now, would I recommend this set? Absolutely. You know I would. So far, I haven't seen anything from Szmal that wasn't short of amazing. The paints are gorgeous, the color mixes are great, they work really well, they are easy to re-wet. Some colors were perhaps a bit soft, but nothing really fell out of my palette. You just gotta be sure to let this dry whenever you can. Like if you're outside and painting, make sure to let this set dry when you come home. And let me know what you think of this set and of the paints in general. I would really like to hear your thoughts. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and see you all in the next one. Bye bye!